start with breaking news coming out of Nashville in the United States.
There seems to be no end to gun violence and school shootings in the United States.
So no matter where you live in the world, I'm sure you've came across headlines of gun violence in America. So I'm outside of Tampa's most popular gun range, Shooter World, and since they're probably going to kick me out of here pretty soon, I'm also going to be in downtown Tampa interviewing other civilians so we can get different perspectives on guns in America. So without any further ado, let's get some questions answered for the world. First question today, in your opinion, is it too easy to purchase guns in 2023? And if so, what could we do to make sure it's going in the hands of the right people?
I would say yes, it's definitely easy to purchase a gun. I guess maybe some regulations, a little more, definitely some more rules. I don't know, maybe even get rid of some of the type of guns that's too dangerous to, be on the streets.
Not at all. Regular citizen, it's not that easy. It's things you got to go through to get one and to get permitted for it.
I mean, I've never tried to buy a gun personally, but it seems like all these tragedies really circle around somebody just easily being able to get one, whether it's in the home or at a store. I mean, you see people just go into a gun market in states where it's easily legal to acquire. They'll go somewhere else with that gun. It's really tough when it's like a states' rights issue to have blanket reform with that sort of thing.
I say yes. Yeah, it's real easy.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, I'm not an expert on the subject, but from what I've read, in a lot of states, it's easier to buy a gun than it is to get a driver's license. And obviously, having a gun carries tremendous responsibility. I mean, guns were designed to kill things. And if you're going to have a gun, I think it should be a comprehensive process and much more than what seems to be done these days.
Yeah.
It's hard to say because it's getting very crazy, Like my generation, all the kids have weapons. And then if you don't, now they came out with that law that you don't need a license or stuff like that. So now it's even more easier to get a weapon. So that's even more dangerous for us. Even if we don't have a weapon, now they got weapons. And if they had a weapon, they got more weapons than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's getting crazy. I don't really know.
Potentially, yes. But I feel like with the right job and background checks, the right people should be able to get guns, and then certain people shouldn't be able to. Sure. But right now, I definitely think it may be a little bit too easy, depending where they have families have open guns in the house, stuff like that. People can get their hands on it pretty easily.
My second question is, what do you think is the biggest contributing factor to gun violence in America?
I guess hate. Yeah, I would say hate, and probably next would be drugs and money. But yeah, definitely, I think hate would be first.
The leading contributor to gun violence is the person with the gun.
Yeah.
I mean, the guns don't kill people. It's people that pull the trigger that kill them.
It's the fact that we had a wholesale reduction in how much we care about mental health a long time ago. Not even just shutting down the loony bin, whatever it is. But normal, well-adjusted people who are happy, secure, they don't fucking shoot other people, generally. That's reserved for the craziest of individuals. It's just, man, people are fucking unhappy. That stems from being unable to take care of yourself, to do the things you want to do. It's very grating. It's the same reason people generally, I want to say there was a study done that said most people, especially in their lower income areas, have a tendency, they don't fucking leave. It's you're born into a trap, and to escape it, you gravitate towards things that are inherently violent or illegal because the world doesn't work for you. So, and that has a strain on your mental health as well. So,
Cause the TV be showing kids different little stuff, it comes from that, and then they think they can go out and get guns and do bad things, And then they look at their mother and daddy, some of them, they got guns hanging around, no, they don't supposed to have guns hanging around the kids, they end up doing stupid things, So, when you're a parent, you shouldn't show a kid your gun. You're supposed to put it up where they don't know you have one. You feel where I'm coming from? Because they know you got one. They're going to search around and might hurt themselves or somebody else. And they think it's a toy to play with, but it ain't a toy to play with. Yeah. Then they don't know. They go playing around with it, and then, hey, here you go.
100%. Wow. That's a deep question. So certainly we have this issue with gun shootings in schools and in public. I think a lot of those issues relate to, individuals. I mean, you're really looking at individuals and what caused that individual to do what they did. And It's different for each individual. There's clearly a lot of mental issues going on there with some of these school shootings with younger people. It was instances of past bullying, being treated poorly by other students, and issues that weren't properly addressed. Sometimes you have family issues, sometimes it's a personality issue. And so I think a lot of those issues are going to exist whether guns are there or not. Obviously in this country people are able to get guns much easier than the rest of the world, and so you don't see these things happening on a same level as they are happening here. But then the other area that I think of a lot of gun violence is in inner city communities, and particularly African American communities. And I don't think there's any doubt that until we get to the root of the problems in these inner city communities, you know, with joblessness, with poor education, poor health care, all of these other issues, then you're going to have kids who want to find a place to belong. They find a gang. These gangs have just as easy access to guns as anybody else. You have these turf wars, and you have kids who unfortunately are not valuing life because they've grown up in unfortunately in communities where life is not valued to the same extent. And so I think you have to get to the root of the problem. But you know, if these guns are not so readily available, then you know maybe you have kids fighting each other, or maybe stabbing each other, but they're not going to be killing each other at the rate that they are.
Well, sometimes. Well, there's two things. Sometimes people are just being themselves. They want to go crazy and do crazy stuff. Or people have breakdowns, and then they want to take it out on everybody else instead of just maintaining control and just at least trying to do something else, like smoke weed or do something else than that, other than trying to go ahead and just murder people. That's stupid, because now you're taking people from their family, and you know taking people from other people. That's ignorant.
I don't want to say like media, but maybe like the portrayal of gun usage and stuff like that. I feel like that could definitely have people like result them in using guns, but also like anger. I'm not sure. I feel like people should just go to like a gun range and let out their anger that way.
Third question is, in your opinion, should assault rifles be banned? And if not, what would someone use them for?
They're definitely not hunting with them. They're killing people. They're definitely killing people with those assault rifles. I think they should be banned. Yeah. I think so, yeah.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, I have a couple myself. Yeah. I use them for hunting. Yeah. I mean, it's not the assault rifle, again, that's killing people. You got all these young people going and shooting all these people up. Well, look at the video games they play. Yeah. They think that it's okay to go out and kill people.
I mean, this is America, man. You can't just do that. Mm-hmm. Whether you think it's right or wrong, it's about being realistic. Like, people just want fucking guns. They're cool as shit. Mm-hmm. I personally probably will never own one because of my mental health history, but I mean, I don't see that as fixing a problem, because you can just go get a pistol. You can get a shotgun. You could go into any fucking building you want. Like, no one's really going to stop you. It's most security is like theatrics. Mm-hmm. You know, you can generally do what you want. For sure. So it's not really a concern what kind of guns are out there. You can get a knife and go stab probably 36 people if you were really fast, you know?
You know, they're trying to ban like assault rifles and things like that. Do you think...
I think they should get rid of all of them. Yes, I do.
Well, I mean, listen, I mean, the whole gun debate is so interesting because, you know, we have the Second Amendment. People have their reading of the Second Amendment. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that, to me, that the Second Amendment was all about making sure that we could defend ourselves against governmental intrusion. And of course, this was written over 200 years ago. And so, yeah, there's that issue about having the right to have to bear arms. And we can argue all day long, you know, left and right, how broad that should be. But if we assume that there is a right to bear arms, the question is then, why do you need it? If you need it to protect yourself, do you really need an automatic weapon to protect yourself? The other thing is, do you need it to hunt? And I did have somebody tell me recently that sometimes people do hunt with automatic weapons, which I didn't know that. I always thought you're doing it with a rifle or whatever. Okay, but if you're truly doing it for hunting, it seems to me that most often it's not automatic rifles. And if you're doing it for protection, it seems like overkill, no pun intended, to have an automatic rifle. I don't see why the average civilian who's not in the military, or I don't even know why police departments would need them, but I guess maybe in some limited situations, I don't see why they should be available to average everyday citizens. I don't get it.
Me personally, I say legal because I'm not the type of person that will go and shoot up a school. So, but for other people, illegal because people take that weapon and then they do other things with it, stuff that they're not supposed to. Like if I had that weapon, I would just go to the range with some friends and then, you know, go shoot some targets or stuff like that. But other people, they would do dumb stuff and go, like you said, go do some shootings and go shoot up schools and churches and stuff like that. Like the recent one that just happened too, while the law came out. Yeah, so it's just stupid stuff.
Maybe for specific people. Like I feel like maybe like police and the workforce should be able to have it, but maybe not like regular like civilians. Yes, yeah.
And this is the question everyone wants to know, but what can we do to improve gun safety in America?
Honest answer, I have to get rid of guns.
All of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Training. Get rid of them damn violent video games.
Yeah.
You'll probably have a whole lot less killing, especially in the schools.
Oh man, that's a responsibility thing. That's knowledge. I mean, realistically, the same thing like Republicans and gun lobbyists fear about, like, you're teaching kids about being trans or gay. Like, they should be doing like gun safety and stuff from a young age. If we're gonna be so dick hard about guns, like, it should be top-down education, just like with any other fucking problem in this country.
When you catch somebody with a gun illegal, give them 100 years. And then the next person know they can't do it because they don't want to get that 100 years.
It's you know, unfortunately, I think American history and American society, we have a history of violence. I think we have to be honest with ourselves. American history has been violent. We want to paint ourselves as something different than that, but I think that this whole gun issue really sort of leaves us as kind of a pariah in the world because nobody else has the issues that we have with guns here. So I think we have to really get to the root of who we are, what we value. Do we want to be known as a violent country? Because I think that's what a lot of the world looks at us as. But really, it's such a big issue in inner city communities, and it's like killing generations of black men. And I think we have to get to those core issues, which I think are all the basis of all those core issues is really anti-black racism. And until we start accepting the insidiousness of anti-black racism and dealing with it, particularly people with my skin tone, really dealing with our inherent biases and dealing with these issues on a systematic level, we're going to continue to have these issues. Because that's the area where I'm most concerned. Because these other issues, I mean, if people are going to go kill themselves or kill their spouse, those things are going to happen. But for generations of men to be killing each other because we as a society have looked at them as less than and as an other, and we're not dealing with the issues in those communities to make sure people have jobs and education, healthcare, and all these other issues, then it's something that's going to continue. So for me, that's the most important thing that we need to be dealing with.
Take that law out. That law they just came out with, take it out. You need to have your license and your permit and stuff to actually carry. We're in Florida right now, so I'm talking for us. It just depends on the situations, because it's good that the law came out because, you know, now if this person got a weapon, I got a weapon too, so I can defend myself. But if you don't got a weapon and I do, and I come up to you with the weapon and all you're doing is trying to fight me, I just fucked up because now I get to shoot you and all you have is your hands. So it's either or. Me personally, it's good that the law came out, but I bet you it's gonna go bad sooner or later, you know? Because watch, you'll see, it's gonna go bad because now everybody got a gun. And they already had guns, so now they got more guns. So it's going crazy, man. I don't know.
I hear you, bro.
This question is definitely hard because there's views saying that like we need guns for this world to be safer, but then a lot of the violence is strictly from guns. So I feel like there could be two different sides. Maybe like more background checks while you get your guns. I know that they go through this a lot. Again, I'm not that educated on how like you get guns or like what the qualifications are, but I feel like the guns have to be like specifically assigned to you, and I know you can still steal them and things like that. There's ways of people getting their hands on guns, but I feel like there should be more protocol to that.
Wow. This wasn't the easiest video to film, but thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who participated in the video as well. I think we got some amazing insight on this issue in America, and these things are actually happening every day. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I put videos out every Sunday at 11 a.m. This is the road to 1,000 subs, and I can't wait to travel the world and do interviews all around the world and meet all the amazing people all around the world as well. So until the next interview, baby, we'll see you next Sunday. Peace.